Growing up Harold. Jonathan has always been jealous of my athletic success, especially in basketball. In 2006, he couldn't take it anymore. We were playing a pickup game of basketball, and I clearly blocked him cleanly, and he threw a huge fit. He grabbed the basketball, and he hit me in the face. Then he ran and tackled me and broke my ankle on my senior year of basketball. I've never told anyone about this story and how much effect it had on me. Welcome to Harold Wrestling Talk, lucky number 13. I'm Jacob Harrell.
And I'm Jonathan Harrell, and that story was completely false because you broke my ankle, and I think I may even have thrown it down on you. I'm not sure on that. But luckily for our fans, we're probably running out of intros like that, and so we'll just get right into the headlines. You know, we had Raw on Monday night. We've got talks from Matt Hardy, NXT, even some CM Punk talks, but we'll get right into the Raw review. Really, for me, Jacob, the Raw stunk. If it wasn't for the main event, the six-man tag, it would have been an awful Raw. We had The Miz and Cesaro winning. We had a Divas match, if you could even call it a match. Mark Henry and the Big Show won. Jack Swagger, Adam Rose, Rusev, Goldust, all of them winning that night. What was your take on September 1st's Monday Night Raw?
I can tell you, I agree with a lot of the fans that I always try to get people's reaction. You like Raw, you hate it. It sucked. Let's just be honest. People said that actually main event, for the first time, people were like, I'll admit it, main event was better than Raw. And that's not good for the WWE if your cash cow is not performing up to the level it should be. To be optimistic, I do like Sandow. Love his outfit. Love that kind of gimmick. Hopefully when Barrett comes in, that'll play with him too. Other than that, you're right. The six-man tag, the highlight reel started out well. Absolutely love Jericho taking some jabs unscripted to Triple H. Ate that up. What did you like besides, obviously we won't talk about the Bella, we'll get into that in a second. What else did you actually like though out of it?
There wasn't much. I mean, really, like I said earlier, you had this six-person Diva tag team match, which was just awful. And like I said, I can't believe that they threw that out there on TV, if nothing else, just to promote the new season of Total Divas. But other than that, I mean, there's really nothing to talk about. I mean, you had Rusev coming out, he just, squashing, trying to set up somebody new for him, and they've really dropped the Jack Swagger angle on that. Um, I mean, I don't know. I'm just a loss for words, and I'm glad that I recorded it where I could fast forward through probably 90% of it, just to get down to the end of it.
Yeah, the Zack Ryder was caught on TV. Adam Rose making an appearance. And the Bunny got a little bit of action too.
Yeah.
Well, we aren't the only ones that criticize WWE. A former WWE superstar, Matt Hardy, still watches the WWE and knows most notably Monday Night Raws. And he tweeted about this week's Growing Up Bella videos. I love the hashtag WWE and respect the company. WWE gave me so much, but it drives me crazy when they insult viewers by force-feeding them absurd stories. Does the former 8-time tag team champ have a point there?
I agree with them, and then at the same time I don't. Secretly, I think that he wishes that it was Growing Up Hardys and you wouldn't hear this at all from him. But at the same time, I feel like the WWE, watching these Monday Night Wars episodes, that they are in the exact same spot they were back then when WCW came in and took over, basically, because they're stuck in this groove. And but to go back to what he was saying, he mentioned some shows and Breaking Bad and Walking Dead, just to name a few. And he said, those shows are completely fictional, but people get sucked in and enjoy it, and they don't seem like it's fake. And the problem with that, though, is those shows are mature. They're rated MA, where the Raw is rated PG. So it's hard to to do that without going through an attitude era.
Yeah, and see, there's 2 points to this. One, it was absolutely absurd. Who looked at those photos and her horrible acting and truly bought this bit? It's almost to the point like the Brian had an affair where they're just like, okay, we got to do something this week. So let's just make up the most ridiculous thing. I was watching it with my fiance, and she would be more the demographic they target. They target people that are younger. They target people maybe they don't have as a lot of experience in wrestling. And she was sitting there, and I'm kidding you not, she was dying laughing because of how bad it was. And if you're not reaching some of these people like that, then who's buying it?
Yeah, I didn't like uh, the um, the affair thing. I mean, because it was literally like one episode dropped. I saw that Nikki actually didn't get a boob job. That Brie got reduction, so it'd make it look like Nikki had a boob job, and so some things were funny, and other things just it just dragged on.
Yeah, and the other point is you're right. There's no one to challenge WWE. There's no one to make them better. So they can live with mediocrity right now because there's nothing that will show how bad they are because there's nothing to compare it to.
Well, guest stars are not new to showing up on Raw. Next week, it was announced that Jerry Springer will be there to moderate, of course, the Bella's story. But what was a surprise for many is that the WWE sent an official invite to the first openly gay NFL player, Michael Sam. Now, Michael has since then signed a deal with the Cowboys to be on the practice squad. Where do you think they were kind of going with this?
That was completely awkward, at least to me, the way they did it. I mean, they're looking for the mainstream media to pick this up, and that's exactly where they're going for. They're trying to get a little momentum off of him being cut by the at that time the St. Louis Rams. I I have no idea what happens if he comes in and totally just cuts, and they want him to do that. They want him to cut a homosexual promo on the net or on Raw to bring these ratings. So I don't know. He won't show up. They won't talk about it. It was something that they took a gamble on and it didn't work. But Jerry Springer, I don't think this is going to elevate that story any. Do you?
I don't think they can go any higher than what it is. They really just need to get a match in and basically move on from it. I feel like they're going to have their match. It may be two or three matches, and then they're going to get back together and go after Stephanie. And Stephanie's going to team up with somebody, and it'll be a tag team match. And that'll be the end of it.
Yeah, they this shows the importance of Stephanie McMahon in the storyline because once Stephanie's kind of taken a step off of this was such a high pedestal it was up, and then Stephanie goes away and it's slowly starting to sink. The ship is, but I think the Bella Twins. It's a great angle if they would have took it in a different direction where it's Daniel Bryan and Brie, and it's with a feud with John Cena and Nikki, where you get this real life story going. Cena turned heel magically for some reason WWE's okay with it. That's the angle I want to see. Is that
Now,
what you want to see?
now you saying that, do you think I'm gonna put you on the spot? Do you think
Yeah.
John Cena is gonna turn heel at this pay-per-view after such a big squash last month?
No. No.
No.
He'll cry, go away and film a movie in horrible acting. It's all. It'll be okay. WWE NXT TakeOver 2 will be on the WWE Network on September 11th for only, say it with me, $9.99. Thank you, Jonathan. Rumored matches include Sami Zayn versus Tyson Kidd versus Tyler Breeze versus Adrian Neville for the NXT title. Other matches include Ric Flair's daughter Charlotte versus Bayley for the women's title, and the Ascension will take on a to be determined tag team for the tag team title. Will you be watching NXT Takeover 2, Jonathan?
I tried to watch the first one. It was right around when the network first came out. They were having some issues, and so I really didn't get a chance because a lot of the lagging and things like that. So I really haven't watched a whole ton of NXT, just, matches here and there. Um, Now, I could be completely wrong. Is Ascension, is that the one that I actually like where the tag team comes out and it's the black and white? I'm guessing it's probably not because it's where they're like the old circus characters. And do you know who I'm talking about? You got no clue who I'm talking about. Anyway,
No.
so
Well, yeah, they're the strong men.
yeah, but
Yeah,
they're not
I
the
know who.
Ascension though.
No, no, no,
Okay.
no.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, then I haven't seen any NXT, and that proves it right there. So no, I probably will not be watching it.
Okay. Well, I mean, see, the nice thing is if you look, Sami Zayn, Adrian Neville, I think it's Neville. They're both going to be jumping up into WWE soon, and it's one of those things where whoever wins the NXT title, they're guaranteed within the next 6 months they're going to be up in the WWE. That's just how they've kind of did it. Dissensions is an awesome tag team. Eventually, they will be bumped up. Hopefully, as a tag team, keep them as a tag team. The only match I honestly want to see is Charlotte. Charlotte's amazing. If you get a chance, match of the year, in my opinion, is still Charlotte versus Natalie, or is it Natalia
Natalia.
Hart? Yeah,
Hmm.
that match was phenomenal. Other than that, I probably won't be watching it, to be honest with you.
Like I said, I mean, it's neat that you can see the up and coming stars. Kind of see them before they're on the WWE to say, hey, I watched them when they were Tyson Kidd and not this person. But unless it gets a lot of talk about it, I'll probably skip it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you haven't heard by now, many celebrities have had their iClouds accounts hacked recently. Most of what we've heard, though, really have been racy female pictures, but we did get to see a picture from CM Punk and AJ Lee's wedding. Um, on top of that, Punk even tweeted out about the picture, saying that, and I quote, "Tweet that picture and I block you. Simple, and I block you because I can't, well, basically, effing punch you in the face." And he threw out pigs as well. So now that tweet has since been deleted, but does this mean, Jacob, that you're not going to be uploading any of your wedding pictures to the iCloud?
Yeah, well, I have nothing to be ashamed of for my wedding. I'll have my WWE title belt, well, actually WCW belt with me. It see to me, Punk's kind of went a little far with that. I understand the point that you want to. He has this mindset that he doesn't want to be famous anymore. You are famous. I mean, if in all respect to Punk, the easiest thing he should have done is one wedding photo, tweet it out, say, eat your heart out. This is all you're ever going to see about it. And then this doesn't become a problem and it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, I know you've got your iPad stuff. Your fiance's got the iPod. You guys are Apple fans, and this is what you get for being an Apple fan. If you would go to Windows and Microsoft, you wouldn't have this problem. So I don't feel sorry for anybody that. And how dumb can you be to, you know, the princess, we've got pictures that she takes on her phone that they're not instantly uploading to the cloud. I mean, you're just
You
asking for
yeah.
problems when you are, oh, okay, well, can I automatically sync this to the cloud where it's just up in the air? So,
Yeah, that's a rant in itself. If you're especially for the racy photos, if you're uploading these to somewhere and you're like, "Oh, no one can ever access these." You're an idiot.
which I mean, I can understand CM Punk's issue.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's probably not his picture. It was somebody that they may have been in their picture with, and so for them, I mean, you're a celebrity, so this is what comes with being a celebrity. So I don't think you can really be upset about it.
Woo woo woo. You know it. The self-proclaimed internet champion is rumored not to be on the roster of WWE 2K15, and it's also rumored that Zack Ryder may be on his way out of the biggest wrestling company in the world. He's already, quote unquote, made plans for his departure. He had a squash, which was the first time in a long time we've seen Zack Ryder on WWE TV. Will you miss Zack Ryder, Jonathan?
I no, I won't. You don't see him very much in matches anymore, um, and you see him on the network, and I think he's good on the network. Outside of that, I think I'm good.
And Zack Ryder had his moments. He had his time. 2011 was a huge time for him. He had a feud with John Cena and Eva Mendes, this awkward love triangle that didn't really work. And then the Demon came involved. And we talked about this before and we talked about this with Ryback, that Zack Ryder, when he was kind of given the ball, they saw the numbers kind of went down. And like we talked about before, John Cena's involved, but the numbers go down. So who do they blame? Well, it has to be Zack Ryder. So Zack Ryder, you're going to be gone for a while because it can't be John Cena that's causing these low numbers.
Right, and so I think that Zack Ryder will probably never get more popular than when he had the short 5 seconds of glory on WrestleMania with Snooki when she was walking around in the back. I think that'll probably be his highlight forever.
So the bigger question is, will this become kind of a trend of these older wrestlers that have bigger names that are in the mid card leaving the company due to kind of this youth movement with NXT?
It would almost have to be, and but then at the same time, WWE is going to be paying these guys with the bigger names, the older guys, more money to stick around and do less matches, and then you're like, well, it's almost a part-time wrestler.
Right. And to me, at least, with this, Zack Ryder's going to make more money going off and doing maybe Ring of Honor, and he'll make more money that way, and he'll perform less. So why not leave for Zack?
And it's almost, you we talked earlier about the comedic stuff that the WWE is doing now that they used to do back in the Monday Night Wars, and they're almost doing the same thing on the other side, the bad parts of the WCW, keeping these older guys around for so long and keeping them in the storyline.
I agree.
We are not the only ones that have noticed a big pull of younger talent from the NXT to the WWE. John Cena has been reported to recently say that this is their moment, with stars like Big E, Bo Dallas, The Wyatts, Adam Rose, Rusev, the Shield members, Xavier Woods, and even Paige, just to name just a few. How much longer is the current WWE landscape going to last, Jacob?
See, you did leave out one of the biggest names, and that's Daniel Bryan. Yes, yes, yes. But I don't think this current landscape, it can't last that long. You're going to have people like Randy Orton, John Cena, these people that's been around since 2002, 2004, 2006. They're getting so to the point where we've seen all their matches. We've seen everything they can do. You got to hit the reset button. And the problem I think you're going to run into is what's going to happen when John Cena's not the main guy? They give that ball to Roman Reigns. What do they do with them? How does John Cena react? Will John Cena just be another name, or are they going to still keep him as Superman?
They almost need to. It see. It just needs to be. You are working from here to here, this age to this age, and then done. And just think how great the product would be if you knew this moment right here is when John Cena's done. He is never coming back. Enjoy it while it's lasting. Get the build up towards the end, and then done. Bring in the next guy. Instead, it's just this. Okay, well, how long can we stretch this out? And then he'll be gone for a little bit. Let's bring him back and see if we can stretch it out for even longer. And well, it's working in the past. Let's keep on stretching it. And so it's just I I don't know. I think that I don't even know where I'm going now. I'm just so over stretching
Okay.
everything out.
Okay. So it's okay. So with that, though, you never would see The Rock again. I mean, you enjoy seeing The Rock occasionally come back. See, the problem they run into, I don't think they're using them properly. Like, the Shield is the ideal situation of younger talent, and that's what they need to do with Big E, with Xavier Woods. You need to build factions with these younger talent, use some of these established guys, When you break up the factions, that's fine. Use them in the story, but use them like they did with the Shield.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I'll stay on topic here. I don't know what happened on that last one, but the WWE is looking to continue its line of wrestling-themed cartoons. We know now that there will be a sequel to the Scooby-Doo movie that was released earlier this year, and there will also be a new Flintstones movie. Jacob, will you be checking either one of these out?
No, I haven't seen any of their cartoons. I like Slam City. I have not watched the Scooby Doo WrestleMania, I think it was, themed one. Did you watch it?
I actually watched it past weekend with some cousins that aren't huge wrestling fans, and by the end of it, they were ready to hop on the network and watch some matches. So I was excited for it. Now there is rumor that on the Flintstones that CM Punk will actually have a character on there. So I'll be curious, him being that gone for so long. I don't know if they've already had this already mostly put together and said, hey, we're just going to continue it, or kind of what happened there. But I think it's great for, to get these younger kids that, see the, older people running around and wrestling, may not grab them in completely, but then able to watch a cartoon with the same characters on there. It works good.
Yeah, and it's a great way to educate the younger audiences, especially from like 8 to 1, basically, of who the baby faces are. Because I'm sure most of the people that was on there were the baby faces. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like Rey Mysterio and John Cena. Did Shaggy and Scooby Doo? Did they get in the squared circle?
They did just a little bit, but not a whole lot.
Mm.
Um, Now they did have it. It was kind of funny. Some of these people that aren't around anymore, they did have Brutus Clay on there. Just go down the roll. They had Michael Cole. They had Kane, AJ Lee, Santino, The Miz, Triple H, Mr. McMahon.
Did,
So
did Vince say you're fired?
Vince did not say you're fired,
Oh.
but it looks like a lot of those people will be in, these other ones as well. I don't know about, people that are gone though, but Vince McMahon has been, rumored to be in the next two.
All I can say is ruh-roh. This week's special segment will carry on Heroes and Legends 4. We have the veteran wrestler, the Heroes and Legend Wrestling champion, Dru Skillz is on the podcast. He'll be headlining Heroes and Legends 4 against Carlito at Fort Wayne, Indiana's Fun Dome, September 13th. Sorry, the Fan Fest starts at 2 p.m. and the bell rings at 7 p.m. Thank you for coming on the show, Dru.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
So, how did you get into the wrestling industry?
Well, pretty much like every other story, I was a big fan. Really enjoyed watching growing up. I was more of a WWF fan than anything else until I started getting a little older. But the WWF actually came to my high school one time when I was a kid and did a show. And I ended up spending some time in the hallway talking to Hercules. And from that point on, I was hooked.
You said you were hooked from there. When did you actually start wrestling? Was it early on as well?
Well, I was always in amateur wrestling, freestyle Greco-Roman wrestling. I went to the Junior Olympics in freestyle Greco-Roman wrestling and won gold at both. So I was always into the aspect of wrestling. I didn't start professional wrestling until I was a lot older. I was one of those guys. I didn't realize I was a fan, but I didn't realize that I thought you had to know somebody, get lucky, and run into the right person. I wasn't aware of the schools and things of that nature. So, but then when I found out, I could go to school, I signed right up and went and saw Les Thatcher. I actually started training on the weekends, driving from Illinois, Champaign, Illinois, to Cincinnati every weekend and training. And then before I finally moved to Cincinnati and started training full time.
Now, was that a big shock for you, the training and just how rough it was?
I knew that, obviously, they're athletes, you know what I mean? So I knew it wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and having a wrestling background, amateur wrestling background, so, but it was tough, man. I saw so many people different come through there. I came in, like I said, with Les, back when we had the developmental deal with the WWE. So I saw so many, guys come in there, big jacked up dudes that they'd pay for their training and day one and they'd quit, they couldn't make it. So the training was pretty intense.
Mm-hmm. So, who's influenced your wrestling style?
Several different people, man. Like I said, I was a big fan of, a lot of different people. So I'd like to say I got a little bit of this guy and a little bit of that guy. But some of my favorites were, the bigger, stronger guys. I have kind of a more powerful move set than anything else. But
Okay. Now, we've got the Heroes and Legends 4 coming up. How does it feel when you see your name next to some of these legends and you get to, wrestle some of them, that most people could only dream about doing?
it feels great, man. Heroes and Legends is a huge thing for the Midwest and the independent pro wrestling scene around here. So, it's great to be a part of the company. Period. Let alone the spot that I'm in, man. I feel really blessed. To be doing what I'm doing, and these guys that are on the shows are great guys to be in locker rooms with. If nothing else, just hearing the stories and rubbing elbows with legends and Hall of Famers, man, it's a big deal.
Can you tell us some of the people you wrestled in the past since you've been around Heroes and Legends for a while now?
Let's see. As far as Heroes and Legends are concerned, Heroes and Legends 1, wrestled Tatanka. Heroes and Legends 2, they granted him a rematch. I beat him again. And then Heroes and Legends 3 was Al Snow. And this one is Carlier.
Mm-hmm. Now, how did you actually get involved with Heroes and Legends?
Heroes and Legends owner Jason Maples, I wrestled. He used to have another company prior to Heroes and Legends, EWF, Extreme Wrestling Federation. I wrestled for Jason probably 11, 12 years ago for that company. We spent some time apart, and then I actually tore my knee up, and then I was out for 7 months. The only time I really took a break in the business, and then when I came back, he was the first guy I wrestled for. At that point in time, it was the end of EWF, and then he transcended that company into Heroes and Legends.
Mm. Now, how's your knee? Is there still some issues every once in a while, or is that something that's kind of fully healed then?
It's pretty much good to go, man. It's I do wear a brace, but I'm not. I don't worry about the knee anymore.
So, can you tell us a little bit about Heroes and Legends 4 for our fans?
Sure. It's a huge mega event, man. It's a fan fest. It's an all-day affair. There's so many different things going on. It's a blast. Everyone has a great time. You get to meet legends, you get to meet Hall of Famers, you get to meet superstars. You never know who's going to be there. Sometimes we'll have guys show up that weren't even advertised. They just want to come and be a part of the fan fest. So, it's all there's wrestling going on all day. Fan fest starts at 2. There's a match usually goes on pretty quick after the doors get opened. And, like I said, it's wrestling going on all day, and, you're meeting and greeting these guys. And I think for Heroes Legends 4, there's actually on the outside of the building, they're doing some type of car show as well. So it's a huge event. There's, tons of people running around. It's a really good time.
Yeah, it sounds like we're going to have all kinds of stuff planned for that day. Now, before we get into your actual match, we had an interview last week with Sean Coletta, and we're just going to play some audio for you. We won't go too far into it, but just so you have kind of context of what was said.
Sure.
Now, with Dru, he's the champion, and you've talked about him a lot, obviously. He's an important role with Heroes and Legends. He'll be our next guest for next week. Can you tell us a little bit more about him?
Uh, the only reason that I mentioned Dru is because I'm obligated to. It's not a secret that I don't care for Dru Skillz. Dru Skillz is, for lack of better terms here, he's mean. He's devious. Every time he comes out to the ring, he scares kids. He's not a fair individual. And I'm trying to be nice here. I would love nothing more than to see Dru Skillz leave at the end of the night without that gold around his waist.
I'll just cut it off there. He went in a little bit farther than that, but it seems like I don't know why he would hate you so much.
Well, everybody hates the guy on top, man. That's the thing, you know. Everybody wants to be in the spotlight. Everybody wants to be that guy, you know. So that's what you get.
Where'd this
But
all
when Dru
start?
Ryder wouldn't have haters.
Yeah.
You know, he's one of those. He's one of those goody two shoes. My job, man, is to go in there, entertain the fans, and leave with the gold I brought. And that's what I plan to do. It doesn't matter to me how I accomplish it. It doesn't matter to me, you know, if I break or bend a rule. What matters to me is that I stay on top, and that's what I'm going to do.
How long have you been on top with the company?
Oh man, since its inception. You know, the last EWF heavyweight champion was Roderick Street, and I beat him. I was the last EWF heavyweight champion and the first Heroes and Legends heavyweight champion.
Mhm. Now, since this event, we're going to go off a little bit, has all these famous people. Is there anybody you've ever been starstruck with seeing at the events?
Well, I tell you, you know, like I said, I was very lucky when I broke into the business. I started, you know, at the developmental territory at the time of WWE. That they were in OVW in Louisville, and then we had the HWA in Cincinnati. So, you know, just coming in and training, I saw so many different people. Then, you know, now getting to see those guys again, you know, from being the Greenhorn trainee that, you know, nobody really knows or sees, and, you know, working security around the shows to now rubbing elbows and being the top guy on the card. So, you know, that's really cool. You know, some of these legends, you know, that I didn't get a chance to meet during their, you know, while they were wrestling, guys like Bret Hart, guys like Ron Simmons, you know, guys that have come to the shows, Ted DiBiase, you know, I'm gonna see Mean Gene, Oakland at 4. His boy Jim will be there at 4. So, you know, those type of things are really, really cool.
hmm Now, can you give us your opinion about your opponent for Heroes and Legends for Carlito?
You know, I don't know him personally, but that doesn't matter to me. He's coming in looking to take what's mine, and it's not going to happen. You know, a lot of people, you know, they say, "Oh, these guys have been on TV. They, you know, their time has passed." But Carlito's still a young guy, man. He's still got a lot to prove. He's out there trying to prove that, you know, he could still be at the top level. He chose to leave. You know, it's not that he didn't have a job there anymore because they didn't want him. He chose to leave the company. So wrestling a guy like him, man, it's going to be great. I'm going to have a great time. I'm going to beat him. You know, because I believe I'm better than he is. But you know, I think he's you know, still out there trying to prove himself.
Now, I hope that, and I'm sure you will be able to hold on to your belt, unlike Jacob was talking with Sean and, you know, whatever they were thinking, but I'm sure you're going to come out victorious on that Saturday.
I'm going to pin Carlito in the middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3, just like I did Al Snow, and just like I did Tatanka. It's just what needs to happen.
Mhm. And now, how are you going to counter his backbreaker, his kind of signature move that he does,
I'm
or
going to counter
backstabber?
the backstabber by not allowing him to do it. I'm going to hit him with everything I got. You know, the best defense is always a good offense. You know what I mean? And I'm going to bring it from bell to bell. It's not going to stop. You know, I'm going to bring in the intensity. I'm bigger than him. I'm stronger than him. And, you know, once that bell rings, I'm going to be on him. And he's not going to have a chance to give it to me. So I'm not so much worried about that as he should be worried about taking my votes.
Now, with people that are unfamiliar with you, what's your finishing move? What do you put people down for the count with?
The Drew drop.
The Dru drop.
The Dru drop, yeah. It's not very many people use it. It starts from like a Samoan drop position, and I throw them out in front of me into a neck breaker. So no, Test used to use it a long time ago, and I believe Sean Stasiak used it a couple times. But it's not been used very often, other
Right.
than beating people over and over and over again with it.
Now it takes a lot of power to be able to do that kind of move. Now, with that match, what are you gonna do when Carlito takes out his apple and spits it in your face to be disrespectful to you?
See, that's the thing, man. I'm the champ. I don't play that. You know, he's gonna do. He's gonna try to get in my head. He's gonna try to make me upset by spitting an apple in my face. I know it's gonna happen. That's what he does. So I'm not gonna allow it to happen. Don't be shocked if I don't spit an apple in his face.
That'd be awesome. I don't think anybody's ever done that.
Don't be shocked, man. You never know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? I believe wholeheartedly that I am the best, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to prove that to everybody. If I got to smack Mean Gene in the face just so everybody knows, that I'm the person that they need to be watching and looking after, that's what I'm going to do.
Now, do you watch the current WWE product to kind of go off of this a little bit?
I do.
You do? What do you think of the current product?
I'm a big fan of Brock Lesnar. With his amateur background, you know what I mean. Like I said, that's the type of style that I use. So, I'm a big fan of his. I like it. I dig what they're doing right now. I got a lot of buddies that that I've seen on the roads that are up there now, and so I'm enjoying watching.
Now, from what you said earlier, being a kind of WWF early on, they've got some documentaries right now going on about the Monday Night Wars. Would you say that's probably one of the greater eras in wrestling around that time?
Yeah, it brought a lot of popularity to our business. So, obviously it was, it's very monumental to our sport. So yeah, I love the Monday Night Wars. It's something that the business is kind of lacking right now as far as competition on top. So I think when something like that would be very beneficial again. But whether or not it'll ever happen, who knows? But it was a time that everyone enjoyed pro wrestling, and it was okay to be a wrestling fan during that time period.
Mm-hmm. Now, are we going to see Dru Skillz lace up maybe in the entertainment company?
You never know, man. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. My goal is to prove that I'm the best. And if it takes going there and for people to know that, then I'm willing. I'm ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for social media, do you have anything, Twitter or Facebook or anything like that, where fans can check you out and look into you?
Most definitely, man. On Facebook, it's Dru Skillz. On Twitter, it's Dru Skillz @DruSkillz, and then on the Instagram, it's Dru Skillz1.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody tried to steal my name.
And for all the fans, that's DruSkillz.
Yes, sir.
And lastly, can you help finish this argument me and my brother have? I believe Rowdy Piper created WrestleMania, all the hype, and built Hulk Hogan up into the megastar he is. And Jonathan thinks that's a load of crap. What do you think, since you kind of grew up maybe a little bit more in the 80s than we were? We were more 90s.
Well, I definitely don't think that it's a load of crap. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hogan was the right guy at the right time. But there is no Luke Skywalker without Darth Vader. There is no, there's no great babyface without an antagonist. You have to have that guy. And Roddy Piper was the guy.
Mm-hmm. See, Jonathan, other people. I might over-exaggerate a little bit with it, but.
Well, we are going to be there September 13th there at the Fun Dome in Fort Wayne, and we look forward to hopefully getting some time just to say hi and wish you luck on your match, and so we'll definitely be looking for you then.
Great, man. I hope to meet you guys there. I won't need the luck, So there'll be some other guys there that will. If you want to spread it around to them, I'm sure they would appreciate it. I don't use luck. I go out there and I use what I got, and I make sure it happens.
Yeah, you'll have to look for the sign with your face spitting an apple at Carlito that we'll custom make for you.
Well, one of those, one me smacking the taste out of Mean Gene.
And he'll have the caption "Holy Balls" on it for him.
There you go, man. There you go. And if Sean Coletta keeps running his mouth, he won't be able to open it. So, he might get one too.
You'll just be handing out all kinds of SmackDown that night.
Man, I tell them all the time, you can line them up and bring them in one at a time. It doesn't matter. Some of these guys you can bring 2-on-1, but line them up, bring them in. It doesn't make a difference to me.
You'll be punching fans, punching babies, anybody.
It's funner to punt a baby than it is to punch one.
All right. Well, thank you again, Dru, for coming on the show. We can't wait to meet you, man.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Heroes and Legends, man. Heroes and Legends 4. It's the biggest thing going in the Midwest. It's going to be a blast. Thanks for having me on, guys, and I hope to see you there.
All right. Well, you just had to bring up Piper and Hogan, and I wish we could just put an end to it and just agree that I'm right, and Piper could just go off to the.
Okay. When we talk to Mean Gene Oakland, he will seal the deal that it was Piper.
Okay. Well, whatever. He'll probably laugh at you, and we'll probably never get to talk to him ever again because you're throwing this crap out there. Moving on, though, final parts of our episode, what to watch in the WWE Network. We did have another episode of Monday Night Wars, and we also had over 100 hours of Monday Night Nitro that got on there. Sadly, though, Jacob, they don't have the episode that we were attending our first wrestling match, but what else? Did you watch any of the Nitro or the Monday Night War?
I am caught up with the Monday Night War. I am enjoying that. It's nice to see some of the stuff that we didn't see growing up. Like we've talked about before, we grew up in the WCW era until basically right before the invasion and kind of flipped the bandwagon. But I'm excited to watch some of the Nitros. I haven't had time. We've had different priorities, what we need to watch. But overall, it's exciting. I wish the network needs to be smarter how they promote things. They should have done Nitro in chronological order each week rather than here's 100 episodes, not in order. They're just different, bland out, and you have to go from like month to month.
Yeah, and I'm actually enjoying the Monday Night Wars just for the fact that I look back at it now and I'm thinking, man, I almost would be more interested in what the WWE was doing than the WCW, but we were just drawn into the WCW at the time so much more.
Yeah, and a shout out to the fan that had the sign that said, I could be at home watching Nitro right now sign. That was fantastic at Raw.
Now, we did have one new item in the WWE shop. Go there through our website, and easiest way to support us, just buying anything you want on the WWE shop through our website, and there you go. But when I did see this, I actually laughed because they actually have $9.99 shirts, and that's all it says on the front, and of course it's got the network logo on the back. And I was, typing this down for our episode, and then I was like, you know what? They really missed it because normally their shirts are $20 or something, and I'm thinking, why didn't they make that $9.99? That'd been perfect. And of course, I looked, and it is $9.99. So if you really want to be in the trend, you can go buy a $9.99 shirt.
I'm going to give you a history lesson. This is the worst propaganda I've seen out of WWE in a long time. This is about as bad. So I'm going to give you this history lesson. Like I said, back in World War II, right after Adolf Hitler died, United States was trying to save gas. So they wanted people to carpool. So they had this huge poster that said, join a car sharing club today. And on top of it, it says, when you ride alone, you ride with Adolf Hitler. And it had the ghost of Hitler in an empty car with a guy. It's just that sucked. Forget it. Go on to the next one. I give up.
Thank you for the history lesson there, Jacob. Anyways, birthdays this week. Jeff Hardy, speaking of Hardy's earlier, he'll be 30, or he actually turned 37 on August 31st. And we also, Bam Bam Bigelow, he would have had his birthday on September 1st. And the only reason why I bring his birthday up is just to praise your favorite movie, Jacob, Ready to Rumble. So
Yeah, that's a great movie. Not really. I'm kidding, of course. Anniversary weeks this week. We have on September 3rd, 2012, Raw was in Chicago. The main event was John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Cena was surprisingly attacked by hometown fan favorite CM Punk and received a GTS on the hood of a car. And then CM Punk hopped in that vehicle. They slowly drive away to see Paul Heyman's face in the car. Huge pop. Great moment in Raw history.
Now we'll go into our what's became a pretty popular topic, the off wrestling topics. Now I figured that instead of doing your favorite Jerry Springer episode, since we were talking about him earlier and disappointing our parents, we could go with continuing the cartoon talk earlier. What was your favorite cartoons as a kid, Jacob? And we'll put 2 minutes on the clock here.
Well, Sailor Moon. She was definitely a very attractive.
Really?
I'm sorry.
Is that one of your favorite cartoons?
Every off wrestling topic now, I'm gonna find a way to
You're
make
just
you
gonna
upset.
Just ruin the bit. All right, favorite cartoon for me. You may not even get to talk. I might just take up the rest of the time here. Hands down, favorite cartoon as a kid, Recess.
Recess, amazing.
You could find. I was almost ready to go out there and look on the TV right now to see if I could just start DVRing Recess, because I could still watch it today. It's that good.
It was scandalous. All right, what for me? I'll go off of me one. Definitely Pokemon, the original Pokemon season 1 and 2. It's on Netflix. I've been going binge watching it. I've watched in like a month. I've watched 25 episodes, singing the theme song. Okay, give me another one for you.
Now, see, that's funny because you're almost the same way with me on Recess, because I heard you talking to the cousins at the the camp out the other night about Pokemon, and you you knew your stuff. So
yeah, Power Rangers, the original one's another one I loved. What other cartoons? We used to watch one Saturday morning all the time because of Recess.
What
they
about
had different shows.
we would get up early to go to school. One of my favorites was Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Oh,
Just because my mom would get us up at 6:30 in the morning, and that was the only garbage that was on that early. You got Animaniacs.
and Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah, and another one that I enjoyed was Darkwing Duck. I liked Darkwing Duck.
TMT, you liked Ninja Turtles back in the day.
See, I don't remember any of that. So
you had the get up. You had the PJs that were the shells that would be awesome if you had it now.
Yeah.
But I would have to say Sailor Moon though is
whatever. You ruined it. You may just get my rant. I may not even give you 30 seconds for your challenge. I may just go right into how you ruin bits, but. Moving into the leaving thoughts, Jacob, you got 30 seconds, and what are you going to talk about this week?
Okay, well, it's another thing about the $9.99. So fans have gone the opposite way of what my challenge was and booing everything that went $9.99. Instead, they're buying the propaganda, the driving alone with Hitler. They're cheering it. So now every fan that you see wearing a $9.99 shirt, just punch him in the face. Punch them in the face, throw $9.99 down at their face, and be like, "I paid you $9.99 just to punch you in the face, man. Just go totally berserk with it. Go riot, guys."
You went a little less than I did, because I'm shooting people in the face, and you're going to
family show.
You're
still
holding it back. So mine is going to be. I've got cable and I've got internet. I'm coming up on our commitment price, and that's what I'm going to talk about. The commitment price, what a freaking joke. You know what? You sign up thinking you're getting this great deal. Oh, but it's only for this amount of time. But then if you just take 5 minutes, take that back. You take an hour to call because you're going to sit on freaking hold forever. By the time you get to somebody, you take 5 minutes and talk to them. Oh, we'll give you that price for longer. So why even offer the stupid price? Just give it to them full and then be done with it.
That's why I just stream everything online.
Yeah, so you steal everything. That's why I'm paying twice as much for hackers like you. I'm gonna shoot you, punch you in the face.
You know what? You broke my ankle, so you deserve it. Right?
Whatever. You know. I don't even know where to go. I'm just still upset that you ruined my cartoon. I thought a lot about cartoons as a kid. That was a hard topic to come up with, and you go Sailor Moon.
Yeah, I wish you would have heard my first rant on the Adolf Hitler alone. It was so much better than the second one.
I'm glad we cut it just so it makes you look so bad.
Thank you for listening to Harold Wrestling Talk. Listen and watch our next podcast every Friday. We would love to have fan interaction, so follow us at Twitter at HWT Podcast, like us at Facebook at HWT Podcast, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, HWT Podcast. Feel free to give feedback, corrections, and any advice is always welcome. We would love to have sponsorships. Contact us at Harrell, Harrell, Wrestling Talk at Outlook.com. Last advice we will give you before we leave: if your girlfriend, wife, boyfriend, or husband says you watch too much wrestling, tell them that's impossible. Till next time, Wrestling World, keep listening and keep watching.